So, ladies and gents, Lord of the Rings, we've got our first look. It's right here. We'll zoom in on that and show you that in a moment. And we also have the premiere date and some statements made by people in the know and in charge of this production. This production has been, I don't know how you can say, maybe marred with some controversy. Sadly, with some very strange additions of things which you just wouldn't quite imagine being in this show. There was talks of nudity and, sort of people indulging in sexual acts and things like this. And it just, Lord of the Rings as a universe just wasn't really that. So that got a lot of people's backs up. But then a lot of people are really excited about this film. Not the film, series, sorry. Misspoke, because it is, well, it's Return of Lord of the Rings. This is something which absolutely pushed fantasy into the genre that it became. I mean, literally, Lord of the Rings released, no one wanted to make any other fantasy films. That was it. It was done. It was done because you can't top Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson did something absolutely incredible with Lord of the Rings, and returning to that after so long is exciting. To at the very least see how things can be done now and whether anything can progress and things will be good. So this is the first look image. Let's zoom in on that so you can kind of have a look at this. I spoke about this last night on a live stream, which if you don't know, I stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, because this did drop last night, but obviously I was mid-stream and couldn't really discuss it too much. We briefly touched on it. Now this, as a first look image, is fantastic. It's a beautiful image. It evokes Peter Jackson through and through, New Zealand, just the stunning scenery that we were used to in those movies. Now I'm trying to look at this to try to figure out exactly what this is. Now I believe this is concept art. I'm very much certain it's concept art because it doesn't seem to. I mean, it's not photorealistic. Well, I guess it is photorealistic in the regard that it's CGI concept art, but it's an absolutely beautiful piece. And I used to really like Lord of the Rings back in the day. I've read all the novels and things like that. But I'm looking at this and I'm trying to piece what city this is. It almost looks a bit like Gondor, but also not. It's, due to the time period setting, it's difficult to really discern where this is, but it does have the layers of the Gondor city and the peaks that sort of, the bridges to the sort of frontal stations that come out. So it could be, but then obviously there's a new river there and things like that, or it could be one of the Elven cities. So if you have any idea what this is actually depicting, please do let me know, because I'd be curious. I'd be curious what people think. I absolutely is not going to be Rohan. Of course not, but Gondor, potentially. There is the potential chance it could be Gondor. So this image dropped and, people seem to like it. There doesn't seem to be any major kickback from it, which is obviously good. Why would we want any kickback from this stuff? Again, there was all the nonsense that came out about nudity and things like that, but whatever. Again, Lord of the Rings is not that kind of show, so let's wait and see, because it almost seems weird to even discuss that that's what they're going to have in it. So I'm kind of waiting with bated breath just to see how that even transpires, because it might not be what we are led to believe it to be. But then we had this statement from Jennifer Salk, the head of Amazon Studios, and she said, "The journey begins September 2nd, 2022, which I remember rightly is actually, it is 84 years to the day when The Hobbit was released. Not the movie, obviously, but the book. So that's quite respectful, I guess, in some ways. It's a rather apt release date. September 2nd, 2022. 84 years to the day. But anyway, they're happy. The journey begins September 2nd, 2022 with the premiere of our original The Lord of the Rings series on Prime Video. I can't express enough just how excited we all are to take our global audience on a new and epic journey through Middle-earth. Our very talented producers, cast and creative production teams have worked tirelessly in New Zealand to bring this untold and awe-inspiring vision to life. And they have. They have been working really, really hard. And I will say they've been working hard mainly because of the COVID restrictions in New Zealand. Ardern over there is reigning with an iron fist on lockdowns and people coming in and out of the country and such forth. So, yeah, they have been working hard. Now, it is interesting because they've wrapped filming. They completely wrapped yesterday, right? And then this is obviously the release that they put out as a bit of a press statement. So, if we look at when it's wrapped to the production airing, there's going to be a lot of special effects in this film. That's a long, not film. Again, I keep saying film. This series, there's going to be a lot of special effects in this series because of that's a very long post-production window, a huge post-production window actually. It's well over a year, just over a year, but still over a year. So it does indicate that there's going to be a lot of special effects, which is not bad. But I hope they maintained a lot of the practical stuff that they were obviously so known for. But that's one important thing to note, and it is important to note that. But anyway, so the cast includes Cynthia, Adai Robinson, Robert Arameo, Owen Arthur, Maxim Baldry, Nazanin Boniardi, Morford Clark. I like Morford Clark. I think she was in St. Maud, if I remember rightly. She's very good. A haunting film, that, which was released in lockdown. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, go watch it. And then obviously loads of other people. It's quite a big cast. But the series is led by showrunner executive producers J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. They're joined by executive producers Lindsay Webber, Callum Green, J.A. Bayona, who is also a director on the series, Belen Alienza, Justin Double, Jason Cahill, Jennifer Hutchinson, Bruce Richmond, and Sharon Tal Yuguado. Co-executive producer and director Wayne Chi Yip, director Charlotte Brandstrom, and producer Christopher Newman. So they're all on board. Lots of producers to get this series underway, to get this all started up, which makes a lot of sense. It's a massive production. Then we get a statement here from the showrunner. So this says, Bilbo says, "Now I think I'm quite ready to go on another journey. Living and breathing Middle-earth these many months has been the adventure of a lifetime. We cannot wait for fans to have the chance to do so as well," said Payne and McKay. So there you go. We've got new series, Lord of the Rings. It'll be interesting to see what the title actually is because we still don't know yet. It'll be fascinating to see. We do know the time period, sort of. It's supposed to be set long before the Sauron, basically, and all the events of the series, the series of movies which we know. And it had to be that. It was a stipulation from the Tolkien estate, if I remember rightly. So it is a new story, but I'm sure they'll be taking some elements of things which we know from other bits and pieces to at least try and bring you into the world a little bit better. But there you go. What do you guys think? What do you think to this piece of art? Good, bad? Where do you think it is? I think that's one of those important trees, that sort of the tree of life thing in the background there in the sun, but I'm not 100%. Again, I just don't know. But let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thank you so much. Cheers. Take care.